I survived 100 days in terra firma Greg, one of the most hardest Minecraft mod packs ever. In the span of 100 days I achieved the low voltage area, automatization, accidentally destroyed a past civilization, and built a crazy base. This modpack has a lot of unique, challenging, interesting and exciting mods. Greg Tech, Genimo, Create, Applied Energistics 2,
500 cigarettes.
and a bunch of other utility, core and global mods. The very first mod that you will encounter is Terra Firma Craft. Well, no shit, it's in the title. I love mods like this, which rip the main gameplay of Minecraft with its roots and swap it out with something different. So-called total conversion. Here you can't just immediately go punch a tree 1 picosecond after spawning. Instead, you have to gather some sticks and stones off the ground, chip away at it with another stone in a special UI to get an axe head, combine it with a stick, and then... After chopping down a couple of trees, I found a hot spring with some fish in it.
Сюда, блядь.
Noticed that it was getting dark, I made a campfire without seeing shit. Cooked the fish, made some survival tools and badass straw hat.
Чего?
And now the sun is rising. After traveling for a bit I found clay, which is required to advance further. And then I found river, and because my body is 80% water, I immediately jumped in to assimilate with nature. Near that river was some salt, which will allow us to preserve meat for longer. After hunting for some more fish, I have found gravel rich with copper and gold. I wish I could find gravel rich with money so I can sift it and get some monies. Eventually I made a temporary camp and started forming clay pottery, tool molds, vessels for food, antique teacup set and more. Had to wait a whole day for them to finish firing, but I could finally make some new tools. But I decided to go sift some more gravel to get copper and gold and monies, and the time has come to make tools out of alloys. To make an alloy you need to throw a certain percentage of one ore and another percentage of another ore and third and fourth for whatever demonic metal you are trying to make. After some mathematical calculations, put the vessel full of ores. Электронный каш. After some mathematical calculations, put the vessel full of ores at the bottom of a pit. Put some straw and logs on top and burn that bitch down. After it finishes, pour the metal into a mold and let it cool down either in water or snow or gasoline or...
This metal can't go in the mold. Чё, блядь? Чё нахуй? Почему? Ещё долбоёб. Раз. Soulhead. А почему?
Shocked by my epic fail, I decided to prepare some more food so I can go searching for more copper later, so I could continue my work. And, to my great surprise, I found some huge To my great surprise, I found some huge deposits of copper on the surface, which is insanely rare because it's not some Greg Tech metal that you can't even smelt, and not coal that you can't use until later in the game. But right now we can't really mine it. Gotta make a pickaxe, of course. Because I got distracted, I completely forgot that I had bronze smelting in a pit kiln, so I returned to my base and managed to mold at least a pickaxe, chisel and a saw. Collecting everything I could, I went searching for a new base spot. After clearing out a territory of native vegetation, I began the process of making leather, and began smelting some more bronze for an axe. And after cooking some more food, went exploring for more deposits in the mountains, but instead of insane riches and big treasure, I've been only finding stinky sulfur and ore that I can't do anything with. To progress further, I needed to find kaolin clay, which is only spawns under certain circumstances. At first, I didn't know it and was skipping some crucial information, like I was going to easily find it anyway. But days go by and I still had no kaolin clay with me. So in the end, I turned to geniuses from Reddit and found out that I actually need to follow those circumstances where that clay spawns.
Сейчас.
The further south you go, the warmer it gets, and so I headed south. I arrived at the shore of my continent and my biological thermometer was showing me 17 degrees Celsius. But the minimal temperature for clay is 18. That's it. We're crossing an ocean. You might have thought that I'm simply gonna make a boat and venture away. But that isn't right, and is right. You can't make a vanilla Minecraft boat in this beach. So our variant is canoe. Сука. But I didn't have a saw with me, so I had to go home. After laying down 3 stripped logs on the ground, saw them through and give it a shape with an axe. Burn it for 8 minutes, canoe is done. But turns out that you can't simply break it, pick it up and carry it in your pocket like in vanilla. This isn't that bad. I'll just build the canoe on the shore and will swim away from that spot, but I need to move it so it won't get in the way of my future house. I tried heating it and covering it with dirt, but burning it actually did the job. Once again, I grabbed some food with me and ventured away. On the shore I plan on building a canoe, and even if it makes a lot of time, at least it's doable and straightforward. I hope the search for kaolin clay is going to be simple, and I was going in the wrong direction.
Блять. О, можно факел. Что? Ну почему? Ну что? Ой, блядь.
After swimming for about 5 minutes, I found an island. After looking around a bit, I realized that there wasn't a single biome that kaolin clay could spawn in. But eventually I did find it after a couple of minutes of walking.
Куда? Куда, блядь, Лили? Это ну?
Wanting to quickly return home, I decided to swim in the river to get as close as I can to the place. The house is done. Now it's time for the forge. And for that we need charcoal. So just dig a 3x3 hole, fill it with wood, bury it, throw a torch, seal it and wait. The coal pit extinguished, so you can dig out the charcoal. Make a hole where your forge is, put 7 charcoal in it, light it on fire and voila! Got a burning pit that can burn my house down. Now I want to make some bricks, to add a beautiful and functional furnace to my house. The heat in the forge is not enough, so I made bellows, to push air into the forge, thus adding temperature and swag. The furnace is almost done, and we only have to fire the functional blocks to finish the multi-block structure. Some small finishing touches, decor, and the furnace is done. In the meantime, we're gonna do a little beekeeping. Make a couple hives, honeycombs, and some new flowers and wait until the new tenants will move into their new free real estate. We will need it in the future. It's time to advance our technology, so I decided to start with an anvil. The very first anvil that we can make is a stone one. Using it you can only make double copper ingots, which are used to craft a copper anvil, thus advancing the anvil tiers. The process is easy. Mine copper, crush it, wash it, mill time, calculations. By the way, the basic vessel can only hold 3000 millibuckets, so I fucked up.
В смысле 3000?
Firing the ingot molds, making gloves to hold hot ingots and not take damage, heating up the vessel with copper dust. Seems like it heats very slowly, maybe there isn't enough air in the furnace. Heating up the vessel again, achieving metal trauma after a loss and also emotional damage after realizing that the recording freezes at this point and I lost an hour of progress, but don't worry, I played fairly and didn't do no farming off camera. Overall, I'll say this: heat up the vessel, mold the ingots, heat up the ingots until they can be welded, throw them onto an anvil, weld them, download Counter-Strike source, cool them down, and repeat until you get 7 double ingots. then craft an anvil. Done! It's the time to mine some graphite, which only spawns in diamond veins together with coal. Finally I found a big cave, which might have a diamond vein, but there were skeletons instead, and my wooden shield was useless against their spears. After coming back and looting my corpse, I found lamanite and malachite, which are iron and copper. And now I'm gonna tell you why this modpack is actually a horror game. After running around a big cave system, a couple more useful and even dangerous metals were found.
Асбестус. Кто такой? Я не знал.
Spending approximately another hour in the cave, I have finally found graphite. Can't wait when I'll be able to start making pencils. Oh man, I'll be able to start making pencils, to make pencil business, to sell pencils for money, which I will get by working and monies and... I came back home. It's time to fire kaolin clay. And I'm glad I gathered a and I'm glad I gathered as much of it as possible. After firing all the kaolin clay, I crushed graphite, washed it, crushed it again, added basic clay, and now I got fire clay. Crucible, melting tables, melting channels and fireproof ingot molds. Fire them and we finally get an upgraded forge, finally. To advance further we need iron. The very first type we can get is wrought iron. To do so, we need a bloomery which is made out of double sheets of any bronze. The default bronze is copper and some tin, so we search for the right alloy proportion, dump it all into a crucible, fail, too much tin. Guys, please support this video with a like and a comment so the quality will become better. This channel uploads daily except for the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays and holidays. Бабушка копирует trollface. After somehow getting the metal to the right percentages, I got bronze. Now I have to do a very long process of pouring them in all the molds I have left, heating them up again so I can weld them. At least now there is a sprite for a double ingot. Repeat that 7 times and now we have a bronze anvil. Using it we can make bronze items such as plates. Take a double ingot, heat it up, throw it onto an anvil, and now starts a very exciting minigame. The point of which is that we need to leave a like under this. After making the plates, welding them, we can finally craft the bloomery. For it, we also need any bricks and the bloomery block itself. Now we need to smelt iron into ingots, throw down the pipe equal amounts of iron and charcoal, and light up the door of the bloomery, not its contents that I was trying to light up for 10 minutes. Спасибо, Трубадан, за летсплей, я бы сам не догадался.
Дальше берем нашего Махмуда и просим, чтобы он его поджег.
А кто мне
И
говорил
ждем, мать его, 15.
Кто мне про это скажет, сука?
For a test, let's throw down 2 iron and charcoal, then wait, grab the bloom, heat it up, smash it, and now we have wrought iron. We are on our way to the next era. In the history of our world, transition to the next era... ёб твою мать, ты чё? In the history of our world, transitions to the next era have always occurred during big events. Such in the case in this virtual world. To advance to the next age, we also need to make a big event. For that, we're gonna make a temple for sacrifices to the pagan gods. Make a sacrifice for roughly 5 animals. Now we imitate a collapse of an empire, followed by colonization. Break the structure. Put any flag on top of it, and now we can advance to the Steel Age. Now I'm gonna mine a lot of iron, chop down the entire forest around me to make a shit ton of charcoal, make a blast furnace, clone myself several times and make millions of steel, then make steel alloys to finally get a blue and red steel. Now is the time to delve deeper into the steam and mechanical age. Gotta make a coke oven, when I can get charcoal out of it and some creosote as well. This creosote can be used as fuel for lamps, a refreshing drink, as fuel for a boiler and in many other ways. Now in order to advance we need to acquire some cash. At this moment I am unemployed, so I will be applying for a job as a glassblower. Firstly I need to make a resume. Send it to HR, wait, get it declined, and repeat until I succeed. And now, after 15 months, I finally made it. But the facility doesn't have any glass, so I have to make it myself. For that we gotta head straight into the ocean, find some kelp, smelt it, get some white sand, or crush a white cobblestone. Mix it with lime, which is just regular flux but fired. And now we get this glass blob. Stick it onto a blowpipe, heat it and blow glass blocks out of it. If you are interested in this job, Google blow job. Now we can make basic steel mechanisms, which will work off of steam, and also steel mechanoids and firearms, because the requirements of the factory are growing. But we don't have any workers. This is a highly populated village nearby, and in order to convince them to work for me, we will need those weapons. We need tools such as tongs, wrench, screwdriver and a file. Now we can make metallic tanks. The most basic and reliable of them being the bronze one. 4 plates and 2 long rods with a hammer on top. Now we make a simple system. Coke oven makes creosote, it flows down the pipes into a collection tank. Out of it the creosote enters a boiler which heats up the water that is flowing down from a barrel. We only have to make sure that the boiler always has water, otherwise everything will blow the fuck up. And now we gotta craft basic mechanisms. Even better to make 2 of each. When mounting the mechanisms, you need to make sure that their exhaust is not blocked. It's this square on the block. Steam is going to come out of it, and if it is blocked, then the mechanism will create one resource and then hold. But if you were to stand in front of the exhaust, then the steam will iron your clothes and dry them. By soaking planks in a barrel with creosote, we can get treated wood. Now we crush it in our macerator, get treated pulp, put them into a compressor, get treated planks, craft treated wood out of them. Why did I make them? Now we can finally start the create mode. But don't rush it. In order to enter the age of automatization, we need to recreate an event first. For that, we kill a bunch of sheep or alpacas, make strings, swim to another island. Note that if you don't use a sextant, barometer, compass and a watch when sailing, then a fucking lightning will strike your ship, so be careful. We arrive at the jungle, find papyrus, come back, build a greenhouse so that papyrus will have ideal conditions, wait, harvest it, soak it in a barrel, take it out, weave, scrape, paper. Now we search for cows. Using a jute rope, pull them towards our base, build kilometers of enclosures, feed them every day, breed them, game end them, soak the pelts, scrape, soak them again, leather. Now we make a lot of books, and after we get a stack of them, we immediately learn automatization and can now print them out on a press. Not that I need that many books, but you see, a lot of people in this age are illiterate because books are expensive to make. Using a press we can mass produce them, which will also make a lot of people realize that they are farsighted. Thankfully, we already have a profession called blowjobber, which can help produce a lot of glasses for those in need. I'm telling you, you should Google it. Using ice, which we acquired using a saw, we can make an infinite water source and power our water wheel. The wheel spins the shaft and the shaft spins anything that you want. Using create, we can finally automate our mechanisms. Earlier we have found kapok trees in the jungle, so now we grow them ourselves, attach tree taps and buckets to them, make copper pipes and use pumps to suck out all the juices from a tree. With the leftovers of leather we make a conveyor belt, electrical lamps for create and finally deployers. Perfect the production of a shit ton of lamps, steel plates, resistors and wires, and make a lot of circuit boards. And even after all of this we shouldn't forget that we are in a wilderness. So it is pretty common to be greeted by a bear, tiger or a crocodile chilling on your base. Now we need to make a little setup for converting steam into electricity. The speed is not the best, but at least now we can produce much needed resources. Now we create all the possible low voltage mechanisms, and yes, all of them. You can probably notice that my ingot stockpiles are steadily declining. But as soon as we make a prospector, finding ores will become much easier. We go to the ocean, collect salty water, throw it into a centrifuge and get salt. Out of salt we get sodium, fill batteries with that sodium and make a prospector, infinite ore glitch. Now we can find any ores that we want. I didn't even know that I had this much ore under my base. Oh, I think my prospector found something. It's a paywall which blocks me from playing further! Fuck! Guys, let's hit 2 million likes by the end of this week so I can continue my playthrough of this amazing and very hard mod pack. Hopefully in the next part we will make a rocket factory to fly to Mars to mine ore that can only be found there. We are also close to reaching 100,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button and remember that we need to get 2 billion likes by the end of this week so I can continue the playthrough of this insane crazy mod pack. Ёбаный в рот, выпустите меня.
Спасибо за просмотр.
Спасибо за просмотр. Mucho gracias, amigos.